Welcome to CS2 Limited's Masterclass on National Certification for Data Protection Officers. Module 1, Key Stakeholders and Roles, Case Study Discussions, led by Ifeanyi Ogochukwu, was recorded on January 20, 2025, at the e-Government Training Center, Abuja. This series is powered by CS2 Limited and the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, NDPC.
Okay? So that's what it's about. The right that is recognized globally for the matter of human rights. This actually is enshrined in the United Nations Charter of Human Rights. Okay, so everybody has a right to privacy. Look at it. So it's not about Nigeria really. Then going beyond that, so you look at privacy, you look at data protection, and look at data privacy, right? So just look at privacy, the general definition of what privacy is relating to us as human beings. Then we're looking at what is data protection really. So the key word actually is safeguards. It's actually safeguard. Because I'm going to try and bring a certain word that are very critical for us to use and understand what we're doing. So it's about safeguards that those who are data controllers or data processors or data processors use to ensure that personal data is processed only by authorized users, authorized purposes. It has to be legitimate purpose, legal purpose, not just for anything. You know, in compliance with the law, The NDPA, Nigerian Data Protection Act, actually is the law. That's the legal instrument that governs how data privacy and protection is applied in Nigeria. So it has to be based, those safeguards will be put in place in accordance with the law. And those safeguards are enshrined in the Data Protection Act. So everybody who is a DPO must understand what those safeguards are that governs how data is processed or handled by data controllers and data processors. Every DPO must understand how those safeguards are. But that's a major critical requirement for protection of that, rights of the individual. So that's important. So looking at privacy itself, again, it has to do with fundamental right to privacy of every human being. Is an inherent right that every human being has, basically. The right to privacy, the right to be left alone, the right to yourself, the right of owning what you own. So the right not to have that intrusiveness in your life. I think another way to talk about it actually is there are a lot of people who are tatafos in Nigeria, right? They are tatafos. They worry about other people's issues, and they think they gossip about it and all of that. So data protection and privacy they actually go together. They are like Siamese twins, two sides of the same coin. The protection and privacy, they actually go together. So we're looking at the safeguards under protection. We're looking at the rights of the individual under privacy. So data protection, data privacy. Now, why is it important? Why is data protection important? Why is it really important? You can tell me why it's important. Because why is it important? Why is data protection important? Why is it important? Anybody? Why is data protection important? Yes, please. Sorry, so that's why we need to protect his data. Anyway, okay, so. Thank you. Thank you. Data is not processed. When you process data, you are able to have power based on the type of data you have. Okay. The lady at the
protect individuals from individual theft, security.
From identity theft?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So a couple of things. First and foremost, we talk about this issue that privacy has to do with your fundamental human rights, right? So protection actually helps to preserve that right that you have as a person. So when your data is protected, it's actually preserving that right you have as a human being. Okay, so that's one. Somebody mentioned trust and confidence. That's why it's important, because if I can't trust you, I can't engage with you digitally. I can't engage with you digitally if I can't trust you. That's a fact. It also has to do with, legal compliance. Legal compliance. There are laws that govern how things are done. And with regards to data protection and privacy, we have a law in Nigeria that governs all of that, environment and all of that, how this happens. Then of course, it supports economic growth. Because technology actually is the key driver for growth, not just in Nigeria, but globally. So if we cannot be able to transact digitally, it actually limits how far and how much we can do in terms of our businesses and our lives and everything, basically. So in the economic growth, also there are ethical considerations. Morality comes into the picture. There's the law and there's ethics. So in data protection, there's a moral position as well that is there. And makes sure actually do what is right and proper. The time, with regards to handling people's data. And of course, the issue of cross-border transfer. Now, GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Law of the EU, actually started data protection in the world, in Europe. I remember when I was doing my IT law in the UK, that's when that actually came up and all that. So, they started the whole was not copying them. The GDPR from the European Union. So, there's going to be a lot of issues with cross-border data transfer. With all kinds of personal information that needs to move from one country to the other, in your business transaction, in social relationship and all of that. So that data also has to be protected. So it's not about Nigeria, it's not about the UK or Ghana, it's about ensuring that there's a global environment where everybody feels protected with regards to use of our data, when it's transacted online. Of course, we're talking about global standards. Then, of course, risk management. I mean, the issue of identity theft. Sorry. So, risk. It reduces the risk for identity theft. Okay, phishing attack and all of those things. Fraud, online fraud. It reduces that risk physically when your personal information is protected. So if you think that your human rights are protected, you're fostering trust and confidence, abiding with legal compliances, supporting economic growth, of course, ethical considerations, safeguarding global data transfer, compliance with global standards, and risk management. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So, just to get a head start,
Please, you want me to check this so I don't fall off.
Okay, please, yeah.
My height.
Sorry?
My height.
Your height. Okay. How tall are you?
5'7".
That's your personal confidence.
No, you have to tell me first.
Okay. Who else want to tell us? Sorry? Names, okay. Who else? Yeah. DJ number. Okay, great. That's very important too. Your money. Who else? Okay. Your address. Okay. All right. So those are personality. But again, there are two categories of personality. One is sensitive, one is not sensitive. We look at what they have basically. Well, let us define what is sensitive. Personality that means any information related to an individual who can be identified or is identifiable directly or indirectly by reference to supporting information there already, right? To identify such as name, an identification number, location data, online identifier, or one or more factors specific to physical, physiological, genetic, psychological. We're going to look at what are all this. What is physical, what is psychological, what is genetic, what is psychological, cultural, social, and economic. So, because it's important we need to define what these are. These are things that you need to know what they are, so that when you're doing your process, you can understand how to attribute it to that particular individual. So when I talk about physical attribute of an individual, you can tell me an example of what it is. Physical attribute. Yes. biometrics. So you got your fingerprint, facial and all that. So those are physical attributes of individual. Are we together? Are we together?
Yep.
So physical, that example, biometrics, your facial recognition, your fingerprints and all, those are physical. Okay? Then move further. What is physiological? You can tell us physiological, yes. Well, I'll tell you what is physiological. What is that? Can you give an example? Yes. Physiological.
Physio. Like my heart.
Your heart rate, for example, is physiological. Your heart rate, your weight. Okay, weight. Okay. So your weight, your heart rate, and all that, those are physiological attributes of the person. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Then genetic. Genetic. Your DNA. Your genetic makeup. The genetic makeup. Right? Then psychological.
Thought process. A pattern of an individual, like a particular lifestyle or something.
Psychological has to your emotions, your mental states, and all that. That's psychological. Emotional and mental state. You know, somebody do something for depression, for example, now. You can't be exposed back. You can't just get exposed back. Or have a mental issue and all that. Because that's something that can bring harm to that person. Cultural. Tribe, yeah? Ethnicity, yeah? What else? Religion. Okay. Social.
Social movement.
Sorry?
Friends.
Political religion is one of them. Your religion is actually one of them. Your social
Group affiliations.
Group affiliations is one of them, so like trade unions and all of that. That's part of that as well. Yeah? And economic identity, your financial status, your bank account details, your money issues. Yeah? So these are basically some of those elements that has to do with, and it's critical. So all of these things, we need to understand what they are. So when we are functioning as DPOs, we need to know what this is, because it's very important to apply effectively whatever the processing rules are. So, well, like I said, we have categorization, non-sensitive and sensitive personal data, right? So, which is just listed here: full name, date of birth, NIN number, driver license number, passport number, voters account number, your address, other home of work, phone number, mobile and landline. Even though landline doesn't really, it's not popular these days in Nigeria. Your email address. Then for sensitive personal data, that's what the physical data, most of the here are all part of it. So health information, which has to do with psychological as well. So I mentioned the issue of your health state, your mental state and all of that, your emotional state and things like that. So the health information, your medical records, health insurance data, the genetic information, sexual orientation, whether straight or not straight. Whether straight or not, whether it's a he or he she or she or all of those things, right? Gender identity, religious or philosophical beliefs, ethnic or racial origin, political affiliation, trade union membership, and criminal history and records. So these are very sensitive personal data. Because yeah.
I have a question, sir.
Go ahead, please.
In differentiating, can I start with that?
You can sit down. Fine.
In differentiating sensitive personal data from non-sensitive. In differentiating sensitive data from non-sensitive data, in some of the texts I've studied, it was meant to understand that regular sensitive personal data could be sensitive in some situations. For instance, there was a situation in Nigeria left for a training, and his name was captured at the airport, and he was apprehended, being that he was bearing the same name, just the same name with a criminal who was also being looked out for by the security agents in that. And to even buttress it further, the person's facial expression as well, or the captured facial expression also matched the criminal at the time. So won't you rather say personal data could also be sensitive given the situation at which it is being assessed? Thank you.
Okay, so just to address that, right? There are several layers of checks. It's not just, you talk about his passport number and facial recognition, right? There are several layers of checks. You can't just use those two to just mark the person and say this is good person. So whoever the security officers are, which are going beyond those two steps. Yeah, so I mean that's just the point. The other going beyond those two steps, and look at, I mean he has his fingerprints. So when I'm going further, so don't just look at the fingerprints and see whether it matches. But just look at his facial recognition and look at the passport number and see that the guy was people. The guy who took the watch list, like you say, actually the watch list. So they must have gone beyond that. And okay, because again, maybe that guy doesn't know his rights as a person. Okay, that's another issue. It's not another issue again. So he doesn't know his rights. You know, to say, even though this matches. However, you can't just properly based on this. That's the additional steps you need to take. That will actually, especially from the person you're looking for. I agree with you. Scenario-based issues can happen where this becomes sensitive. Regular personality becomes sensitive. But it's not the norm. It's not really the norm. It's not the norm, basically. Please, the three gentlemen whose name were not called, can you just go outside and sit down? She's outside now. Just there. Let's see her quickly. Okay, so I said three gentlemen. I've seen a lot of moving out. It's important that three gentlemen moving out. Okay, so let's take this one. So this is basically how personal data is collected, right? The non-sensitive and sensitive personal data. Yes. Okay, so we have an issue, right? If you look at forms we fill now, you have sex, male, female, and someone to say. You have those, before it was only male or female, you see. But now they've added up other options on the gender issue in the fill forms. So a lot of people who are not straight will choose to do the other. I know what I'm saying, they will choose to do the other. Because they're actually scared of the fact that people know their name of their sexualization. They are panicking in trouble. So they prefer not to state it than state it. Those who are straight basically put male or female. Those ones are straight. The other one says others. Those others. So the LGBT community, they oftentimes, sorry? Oftentimes they don't feel that because there's no classification down right now on any form anywhere in the world. Regards to whether you're a he, or a she, or any of those things. Okay, so how do we process personal data? I'm not trying to rush because they're telling me I have a little bit of time. The new ceremony has actually cracked so much time, taking a lot of time. Let's see how fast we can go. So when we look at data, this actually involves everything that happens to data throughout the life cycle of that data. Every single thing that happens to data, right? And it has to do with, any operations which is performed on personal data. It can be manual, it can be automated. So online forms, for example, is automated. Online forms, automated. So you fill the form and all of that. But paper forms that you're given to, these are manual forms. So it can be manual or automated. So even though we're talking about digital, we still have issues with the manual environment. Because often when you fill forms, you find out like they carry those who are not people that can sell out, all your data, all those people start calling, and all your data is with them. So it's still an issue. Okay, so such as collection, recording, organization of other data, structure of the data, history, adaptation, and acquisition. This is important because when you adapt the data, you're actually modifying that data to suit the purpose in which you need to process. Actually, modifying it. Alright? When you alter the data, you're actually updating that data. When you alter it, you're actually updating that data. But again, don't forget that you need to make sure that when you either adapt or alter the data, you must actually indicate that. Remember, you're taking data based on consent from the data owner, right? So you need to actually update that. So, retrieval, consultation, use, disclosure by transmission, dissemination of otherwise, related available, alignment, combination, relation of the section of that data. So, all of these processes happen. So, it happens within. So, from here to here to here. So, data processing, you collect the data, manipulate the data, and usable or desired for. So, that's why oftentimes this happens, application and operation happens. So, somebody might actually give an information that is not incomplete. So, for it to make it usable to you, you will need to obtain that information, you need to quantify that information, to make it usable for you to use it to do your processing and all that. So, what are the conditions for processing sensitive data? Remember, we talked about non-sensitive personal data and sensitive personal data. This data actually is one that will create trouble for people. So, like, okay, we'll talk about the gay guys here now. A lot of people who are in the LTV space, they are scared in certain countries to actually shoot their in that space. Because either they are mobbed or discriminated upon and all that. So, once people know your sexual orientation in that part of the world, you're already in trouble. You're going to be discriminated upon. So basically, the risk is that there's greater risk for data subjects when their personal sensitive information is actually, released. People are aware of it. So it leads to discrimination, embarrassment, missed opportunities. Because some people when everybody is gay, for example, some of them are gay. Right? So missed opportunities, another violation of human rights. Now, Section 30 of the NDPC Act, this is safeguards. I mentioned safeguards initially when we're defining data protection initially, safeguards. An additional obligation on data computers and data processors when they are processing sensitive personal data. So the following is to actually consider. First and foremost, you must get the consent of the data subject. First, that's critical. Without the person's consent, there's no going forward. That consent is mandatory by law. You get that consent. So that if they break, also, due to legal obligation, processors are not allowed to fulfill legal obligation. They are related to or rights related to employment, social security, and similar laws. Because, for example, now he has to give me school information or who he is. So he has to fill those forms when you want information and all of that. So again, legal obligations, protection of vital interest. He has to do either with the data subject or another person. Either data subject will give consent. So as long as that thing is vital or vital interest, there's when we talk about security, we talk about national interest, right? National interest for security. And that is why we see any other law, you have that when they mention national interest, security, we used to lose everything, because like you're in an emergency situation, basically. Okay? So non-profit organizations and foundations can process anything better than that because they engage in activities where appropriate safeguards, again, safeguards, charitable, educational, literary, philosophical, religious, and other criminal purposes. So for NPOs or MPOs, they also process that, but they will also apply these safeguards to protect that information. There are quite a lot of conditions to be legal claims and proceedings. When you have maybe cases in court, somebody can supplement on these and the person has to bring that information in court as well. Something of national or public interest. So that data will be released, even without your consent. But again, this is the guiding rights and freedom of that data subject. Medical and community welfare. is provided for medical care, community welfare, under the professional medical personnel, or some program with social community. So this is also due care, with due diligence and all of that. For public care purposes. So again, this also protect the rights and freedom of that data subjects. You can use also for research and archive purposes as well. So these are basically conditions that we need to apply when producing sensitive personal data, whether as a data controller or data processor. So under the Act, we have a Child Rights Act 2003 in Nigeria. Under the Act, children are regarded as those below the age of 18. Everybody knows is regarded as a child in Nigeria today. So if you are going to process data about that child, there are conditions to meet as well. Okay, so again, it requires that data controllers or processors apply appropriate mechanisms to verify their account. So you need to be sure that that person is putting that child in bracket in accordance with the law, child act law. So you need to have evidence to prove that. So it can be a birth certificate, it can be a case declaration or something like that, but there has to be evidence to prove that that person is in that bracket as well. Implement high security to protect child personal data from authorized access laws. So again, the onus is on the data controller and processors to ensure that that child is not exposed. It's not exposed. Ensure that that children's data is supposed to be beyond. It's not supposed to be beyond what is regarded disclosure. So you cannot say you want to use this data for a particular purpose, then in the process you extend beyond that purpose. It's also illegal. And I mean, of course, the law can actually do that. It's a way example where the consent of parents or legal parents must be obtained. So again, because they're underage, we need to have a guardian. Otherwise, I can actually stand in for them. The data processor controller must make his privacy notice child friendly, so it's easy for the child to understand, easy for the guardian and parents to understand as well. Before they can actually proceed the process. Okay, where are the key stakeholders? The critical stakeholder here is actually the data subject, you and I, individuals. That's the critical stakeholder. Then you have the regulator, which is NDPC. You have the data controller, which could be an individual or private entity or public commission, an agency, or any other body alone or jointly with others. Determines the purposes and needs of processor personal data. Then processor is means an individual. So there's a difference in the look at. Here you have public commission, here you have public authority. You know the difference. Public commission and public authority. You know the difference. Public commission and public authority. Look at what the difference to go. Public commission, public authority. You know the difference. Don't get confused with the fact that NDPC is called commission. But let that not confuse you. But the difference between public commission and public authority, who can help us? Anybody? Anybody? So I'm just trying to pick up something that are critical for us to look at what we're doing now. Okay, so a public commission is just like a committee or any sort of a government for temporary purpose, specific purpose, but temporary. That's a public commission. So they have an assignment they need to undertake. They have an investigation they need to undertake with regards to data protection and all that. So they set up the data investigation and they're done. But the public authority is like NDPC, it's like NDPC. A government organization actually runs as long as that country exists. That's an authority. So there's a difference between commission and authority. It's important for you to understand that. Okay, so I'm going to try and just because they told me you guys have the NDP Act, right? Yeah. I'm not going to go through all of this. So the key thing actually that this act was signed into 2023 by our current president. So that's the law that governs data protection and privacy in Nigeria. So there are a lot of possibilities for locations out there. The rules of NDPC also are there as well. These are the rules. Okay, so the quick quiz. I'm going to start. This is my group 1 and group 2 and 3. So, which I'm going to ask, this question is for my group 1. So, those are my left. I will together. Hello? Hello? Except as come and people are getting cold. Except as come, you're getting cold. Are you with me? Okay, so let me. It says, what is one of the primary roles of a data protection authority? What is one of the primary roles of a data protection authority? A, to promote data breaches as a means of public awareness. B, to regulate the processing of personal data and ensure compliance with data protection laws. C, to assist companies in collecting as much data as possible. D, to manage social media accounts of businesses. ABCD, who's the answer? I'm not going to ask you guys. I didn't ask you guys. They've not come for a friend yet. They've not come for a friend yet. So leave them alone. So what's the answer, please? To regulate the position of personal data and ensure compliance with data application laws. Let's start with that. Okay, the middle row. The question. Why is data protection important for individuals? Where is it important for individuals? One, it increases the amount of data available for marketing purposes. B, it is organization that point legal disputes over data sharing. C, it safeguards individuals' privacy rights and protects against use of personal data. D, it allows companies to sell personal data to parties of projects. Okay, thank you guys. Let's start here. Okay, so question 3. This could be an answer. Which of the following is a condition that was fulfilled before processing children's personal data? Parental consent was obtained regardless of context. B, children's data must be processed freely, is anonymized. C, children's data can be used for marketing without restrictions. D, only data collected from children actually requires consent. A. Please, let's start. Okay, I'm going back to it again. Question 4. What is the significance of the principle of accountability in data protection? What is the significance of the principle of accountability in data protection? A. It shifts all responsibility for data breaches to the data subjects. B. It requires organizations to demonstrate compliance with data protection laws and principles. C. There are organizations to avoid penalties by claiming ignorance of the law. D. It ensures that only data subjects are responsible for protecting their own data. What's the answer? Sorry? D.
No, that's BD. Which one?
Is this a B or D? B. B. Is that all of you please? Okay, let's start with that, please. Okay, number 5. What does the principle of purpose limitation imply in data processing? Data can be used for any purpose the regulation deems fit. B. Data should only be collected for specific legitimate purposes that are communicated to the data subject. C. Regulations can change the purpose of data processing by informing data subjects. D. Data can be stored indefinitely as long as it is not actively used. All right, now for them, please. Okay, I'm not going for them.
Passing through my camera.
Okay, number 6 question. Which condition must be met for the processing of sensitive personal data under the NDPC Act, National Data Protection Act? Yeah? A. Data subject must be informed that their data is being collected for marketing purposes. Processing is allowed if the data subject has provided explicit consent for a specific purpose. Sensitive personal data can be processed without any conditions if the organization has a privacy policy. D. Data can be processed freely if it's stored on a secure server. B. All right, let's start with this. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end for now. We're going to do our previous slides after the next session. Remember, how many people have ones here? You have one. The number is 1. Okay. The number is 2. The number is 3. The number is 4. Who does not have any number at all? Who does not have any number? You don't have a number. So the number is 2 now. You don't have a number. The number is 2. So you're going to join this by 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to stop here and wait.
Want to go? Yeah, it's up for like it's up.
The CS2 Masterclass for National Certification Training of Data Protection Officers is presented by Consultancy Support Services, CS2 Limited in partnership with the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, NDPC.